Today we will be showing you how to replace data, interface, and power cables on tape devices and host machines they are connected to. We will also be showing you the differences between the various types of data interface cables so you're more able to accurately identify what cables you have. This video is organized into sections in the following order: Scazzy Cables, SAS Cables, Fiber Channel Cables, and Power Cables. We will be starting with Scazzy Cables. There are two main types of Scazzy connectors that you will see on tape devices and their connected host machines. These are standard 68-pin, as seen here, and VHDCI connection, as seen here. There is no guarantee that the connector on your tape device will always be the same as the connector on your host machine, so it is extremely important that before ordering a replacement cable, you verify what type of connector is on each device in question. To replace a Scazzy cable, you will need to carefully undo the thumb screws that secure the Scazzy cable to the connector at each end. Then, remove the Scazzy cable and prepare the new one. Carefully plug the connectors in, making sure not to bend any pins as you are doing so. Then, tighten the thumb screws on both ends of the new cable. Please also note, all Scazzy devices must have a Terminator installed. They install using the same method as Scazzy cables. The location of the Terminator may vary depending on your application. Terminators come in three varieties. They are VHDCI, 68-pin LVD, and 68-pin HVD. The last two will both have the same connector type, so it is very important that you ensure your device is LVD or HVD before purchasing and installing a replacement Terminator. Now on to SAS cables. There are again two main types of SAS connectors that you will see on tape devices and their connected host machines. These are Mini SAS, also called SFF8088, and Mini SAS HD, also called SFF8614 or 8644. These are 6GB and 12GB interfaces respectively. To replace one of these cables, you will need to locate the tab on the connector. Depending on your brand of cable, this may either be a push or a pull tab. By pushing or pulling on this tab, you will disengage the hooks of the connector and will be able to pull it out of the port it is installed into. When installing the replacement, it is very important to note the orientation of the cable and ensure that the security hooks are facing the same orientation as the corresponding holes in the port. Push the plug firmly in until it seats and does not slide back out. Unlike Scazzy attached devices, SAS devices do not require termination. We will now move on to fiber channel cables. Just like with Scazzy and SAS, there are two main connector types for fiber channel attached tape devices and their connected host machines. These connectors are SC, which is short for standard connector, and LC, which is short for lucent connector, also called little connector. All tape devices and their connected host machines use double connectors at both ends. To replace one of these fiber channel cables, there are two different procedures depending on your connector type. For SC connectors, you will simply pull the connector straight back and out of the port it is plugged into. For LC connectors, you will need to depress the two clips on the dual pin connector. Once both are depressed, you can pull the connector straight back and out of the port it is plugged into. To replace the cable, for both types of connectors, first ensure that the connector is oriented the proper way. Then carefully push the connector into the port and seat it firmly. On LC connectors, you should also hear an audible click as the two clips catch on the port being plugged into. As with SAS, there is no termination required with fiber channel devices. Last, we are going to cover power cables. There are two main types of standard power cables that you will encounter. These are wall plug style and rack mount style. The difference between these two cables, as you can see, is the style of the plug at the end that plugs into your power source. It is important to note when replacing power cables, if you are able to switch off the power to the power supply on your device, please do so before replacing the cable. This ensures that you won't short out the power supply when plugging the power cable back in. Always unplug the end of the power cord from your device first and then from the power source. Then, when reinstalling the cable, plug the replacement cable into your power source first, making sure it is completely seated. Then plug the other end into your device, followed by flipping the power supply back on if applicable. If you have any questions in regards to identifying the style of data interface cable you have, or you need assistance with installing one that you purchased from the Rocket Platform website, please reach out to us at support@therocketplatform.com, and one of our specialists will respond as soon as they are able. Thanks for watching. This has been another video by the Top 10 USA Video Production Team. We look forward to sharing more content with you going forward, so please check out our YouTube channel and please subscribe so that you get notified whenever we release a new piece of content.